Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing a different kind of video, and I had planned on doing a review video on this topic before I saw the big to-do that happened on the internet this past week. And I'm just going to say right off the bat that there are going to be some of you who don't like this video, and there might be some of you who unsubscribe from me after I post this video, but it's something that I think is really important to talk about because it's something that I can kind of see both sides from, and something that as I have gotten more and more into my role as a YouTuber that I've kind of developed strong feelings about, and it's something that I went on quite the Twitter rant about this past week. And I don't know, I have a lot of feelings about it, so I want to talk about it a little bit. To preface it, I did want to talk about the palette itself, which, if you guys don't know what I'm talking about with the drama already, I'm talking about the Jaclyn Hill Becca eyeshadow palette. And I got this 2 weeks ago, and I was gonna do a review because I did the review of the face palette already, and I thought, you know, I might as well get the eyeshadow palette and see what it's like. I don't have any other Becca eyeshadow palettes, so I don't necessarily have a Becca eyeshadow to compare it to. I can tell you, however, that I do really like this palette, and that brings me into the drama that has come with it. They did release it online, and they were planning on releasing it in stores later, and they pulled it, and they're not going to do that anymore because there were people saying that the quality of this palette was shit. And it started this big internet firestorm witch hunt against Jaclyn Hill, and I am not a Jaclyn Hill stan by any means. I respect her as a YouTuber, I respect her as a marketer, I respect her as an artist immensely. I think she's amazing at what she does. She has an eye for what's going to be popular. She has an eye for products that are going to sell. When she puts her recommendation on something, it sells, and I respect that. She is generally right, and you know, that's kind of hard to say because everybody's tastes are different, but she generally recommends really good things, and things that she puts her name on sell very well. So I saw, my Chanel actually told me that they were pulling this palette, and I was surprised because I really enjoy mine, and I have used it quite a bit since I got it. And like I said, I don't necessarily have another Becca eyeshadow palette to compare it to, but I can tell you that for what it is, it blends beautifully, the one I have. The pigmentation is really great. It doesn't fade throughout the day. I would put it, you know, right up there with all of my other favorite shadow formulations. So if this palette that I have is subpar for Becca, then Becca's eyeshadows should be Natasha Denona priced, because these, what I have here, is a really great palette. As I was researching a little bit more into what the drama was all about, apparently when Becca had this palette made, they, for whatever reason, were running late with the palette, and in order for them to have it released at the same time as the rest of the collection, they had to run it through another lab and manufacturing place. And that manufacturing place, and for whatever reason it was, they had to change the formula of the shadow slightly. Now, ever since this has happened, basically everybody and their mother is a manufacturing expert who knows exactly what goes on and exactly the types of things that make an eyeshadow super shitty, and, you know, all these things that they did wrong, which I think is insane. And I think as like a society, as a culture, we do that. Like, all the internet warriors for, like, all the anti-vaxxers, all the crazy food people, all, you know, all those people think that because they read an article or two online, they are all of a sudden experts at all of that, and they know what should have happened, and they know how Becca screwed it up, and they know that Becca intentionally, you know, made a shitty palette just to make money, and they know, you know, whatever that they think they know. And while I know a little bit just from being part of the makeup community and all that, you know, I can't tell you that I'm an expert, that I can tell you from my job that we have products that sometimes get manufactured in different plants, and generally they turn out just the same no matter where they come from, and sometimes they don't. And it happens across every manufacturing thing ever. This kind of thing happens all the time. And while I can understand if you got one of the lower quality palettes why you would be upset, I think that this has turned from a quality control issue to a witch hunt against Jaclyn Hill. People think that they know what was in her contract. People think that they know that she decided what formula and how it was going to be manufactured and where, and that she would have had any say whatsoever should Becca have decided to change the manufacturing protocols. And I just think that is insane. I don't know why people want to hold her to a different standard from like anybody else who does a collaboration. What collaboration is it that somebody would come in and be like, hey, established company, I'm gonna change your formula and I'm gonna dictate to you where you're gonna manufacture your stuff and what ingredients you're gonna use and all those other things. Like, that doesn't happen ever unless it's specifically in the contract. And every collaboration that Jaclyn has done with Becca has been of their existing formulations. She hasn't made any new formulations. She hasn't changed any of the formulas for anything that she's done. It's all been existing products. So I don't know why all of a sudden people think that this particular eyeshadow palette, she all of a sudden had say over it. And I think the blame is being thrown totally in the wrong direction. And this is where I start to have a lot of feelings about it, because it comes down to this culture of entitlement that YouTube has created, or that YouTube watchers have created, where people who watch YouTube, and I used to do the same thing. And I don't anymore because I understand, but where people think that YouTubers need to put out free content that is the best quality and the most truthful, and you know, all these things that you don't get in any other aspect of marketing or advertisement ever. And I'm not saying that, you know, anybody who's on YouTube should have the license to just lie to you, you know, to your face, but the assumption that every major YouTuber is a liar and is only doing it for the money has become a really big thing. It's something that I see in the comments of my own videos. Oh, I'm so glad that you're not a big YouTuber because I know that I can trust you. And like, while I want to be trustworthy and keep my integrity, I also come from a incredibly privileged place where I have a full-time job outside of YouTube. I don't depend on any money I make from YouTube at all right now. So like, if I was the single mom that I am, depending solely on the money that I make off of YouTube, and somebody offered me money to review a product that I thought was okay, you know, but not the best, but it was in my contract to only talk about the positive parts of it, I like to say that I wouldn't do that, but like, I don't need the money right now. I don't. And if it comes down to putting food on the table for my child versus not even really lying, but like just only talking about the positive parts of something, you know, I can't blame people for that. I can't blame people for needing to pay their rent. I can't blame people for putting out however many months, years of content they put out where it's expensive to be a YouTuber, and I'm not getting paid to do it. This is all stuff I do on my own, of my own money, for free, and I'm doing the job of advertisers and marketers that get paid. In like, if this was my job to be an advertising person, I would get paid for that on any other platform but YouTube. And so for people to expect me to do, or anybody to do that job for free and not feel like we deserve to get paid for that. For all the hours we put in filming and editing and buying our products and everything else, like, it's so short-sighted. And like when people say, and I used to do the same thing, and it was so wrong of me then, and it's wrong of you guys now who do this, to say that sponsored videos are bullshit and it's all just lies and whatever else. Like, if you can't read a person well enough to decide for yourself whether or not they're trustworthy, that's on you. It's not on us. And if you're taking one person's recommendation and spending money that either you don't have or on something you can't return or whatever else, and you're going to be mad about it, that's on you. It is on you to find someone who has the same skin type, has the same desires when it comes to makeup, whatever. Like, I have combo skin, and if I were to go to like Kathleen Lights, who has super dry skin, and expect things to work on me the same way they work on her, I'd be the idiot. It would be my fault that I wasted that money on a product that doesn't work for me, because I didn't take into account the differences between us. And like, even in my Violet Voss video, where, you know, I don't like this product. I don't. You know, there's nothing that's going to make me like this product at all. And I think, honestly, it's the same kind of thing where it's a quality control issue, because I have so many people in that comment section telling me it's their favorite palette or whatever else, and they're not wrong, and they're not lying to me, and I'm not lying to them, but people are different. And I think that YouTube has created such a weird underbelly of people who think that if somebody recommends something that doesn't work for them personally, that they're just liars and only in it for the money and everything they say is wrong. And it's crazy to me, because, I mean, my best friend is here right now, and there are going to be things that she loves that I hate, and I love that she hates, because we're people and we're different, and like, nobody likes all the same stuff. If they did, we wouldn't have jobs on YouTube. We wouldn't do this, because you would only need one person to tell you, and then that job would be filled and there would be no need for anybody else. But there are literally thousands and thousands and thousands of people making videos about the same stuff, and you're gonna find the whole spectrum of differing opinions on the same product, on the same company, on the same whatever. And for people to crucify YouTubers, the popular ones, and say that they're only doing it for the money, or they're only, you know, they're just lying, whatever. It bothers me so much, because, you know, before I started YouTube, I was part of a makeup group on Facebook, and part of the reason that I left that group was because there were so many people in it who would come to us as the administrators of the group and be like, I need you to tell me what my shade is. I need you to tell me what's going to work on my face, because I don't want to waste money. I need you to tell me what it is. And it bothered me. It was something that bothered me so much that I would talk about it outside of the group to other people, because nobody can tell you. Nobody can look at your face and be like, this right here is the nude that's going to work on you. The nude lipstick, which is like the hardest lipstick to match. This is going to be the nude that looks good on you. This is going to be the foundation shade that looks good on you. If you're in this foundation shade, you're going to be in this and this other brand's foundation. Nobody can do that from a picture on the internet. And the idea that just because we have more experience in makeup than some other people, that we have to tell you, you know, like, there is no shortcut. You guys have to do the work. You have to do the work. I have spent so much money on makeup that I can't use. And, you know, like I've mentioned in other videos, I've gotten to the point where I just return it. I don't save it for anything. You know, I don't save it to give away to other people. I return it because I want that money back, because I have wasted so much money on other things that either I can't return or, you know, whatever. I gave it to other people instead of returning it. And there is no getting around that in makeup. There is no getting around that. I don't care if you have like the exact same skin type that I do and the exact same wants and needs. It can be something that, you know, comes down to a texture thing that you don't like. And like, there's so many facets that go into whether or not you're gonna like a specific makeup product, and nobody can tell you. And if you're expecting one YouTuber to tell you what's gonna work for you, and you go out and you spend money that you regret or that you maybe should not have spent, again, that's on you. Like, that is not their fault, and it doesn't mean that they don't have integrity. It doesn't mean that they're lying to you. It doesn't mean that they're only in it for the money. It doesn't mean any of those things. There is so much work that you have to do as an individual to make makeup work for you. And another thing that I want to touch on just slightly is something that I noticed on more popular YouTubers' pages is there'll be comments that say something along the lines of, you know, I can't do this on my face or whatever. Yes, you can. You just can't do it the exact same way that this person who doesn't have the same eye shape and doesn't have the same face shape and doesn't have the same whatever can do. And it's on you to figure it out. Like, we can give you all the tutorials in the world, but it's still your face and it's not our face. So you need to put it on your face in a way that works for you. And that kind of mentality is something that people need to take more responsibility for. You need to take more responsibility for your own face and your own needs and your own whatever and your own budget, and realize that we as YouTubers, in order to stay relevant, have to buy new products. And so there are a lot of people who will do a review on a product after only having it for a week or whatever, and maybe not even being able to use it every day for that week. And while we wish we had more time, the culture of the way things work in marketing and advertising and all that, and even in the fact that limited edition products, you only have a certain amount of time to get a review out before it's not relevant anymore because you can't get it. So there's so many things that go into somebody's review of a product, and it doesn't always work for us as YouTubers. It often works against us because we are under the clock to buy the product, have it shipped to us, use it, and then review it and give you guys a review that works. And I can't tell you how many products I have that the first time I use it, the first few times I use it, I'm like, oh, I really like this. And then after the 5th or 6th or 7th or whatever time, I'm like, actually, this kind of sucks. Or even the other way around, where I use it the first time and I'm like, this is the worst. And then I use it more because I try to make things work. And then it's fine. And it's one of my favorite things ever. Both of those situations happen all the time. But in the timeline of releasing videos so that they're relevant for you guys, that doesn't always work out. And we can come back and we can make another video later that changes our tune or whatever, but that doesn't help you if you didn't buy it on our recommendation or did buy it on our recommendation and ended up not liking it for the same reasons. And you can also buy those things and love them when we hate them, or hate them when we love them. There's so much. And I think on the flip side of that, on the flip side of the coin, I think as YouTubers, we need to change what we can, I guess. You know, try to make a more informed video when you can. Try to make sure that you are holding as much of your integrity as you can. And again, you know, I don't depend on any of the money, and I haven't seen big contracts come my way. I have never seen multiple zeros in a, you know, in a check that could be mine. And I can't tell you that I wouldn't be tempted by those things. Again, I am so lucky that I am not depending on any of that money. I don't need it. at all, you know? So I am in a place where I can be super choosy on what I do and what I don't do, because that's my life. I am so lucky to be here, and not everybody does that. There are people who only do YouTube full time and are single, so they don't have, you know, a significant other's income to balance out the times where they're not getting offers and their maybe ad counts are low or whatever. And not everybody's great at budgeting, and not everybody is perfect. And I don't know why YouTubers are held to this standard that literally doesn't exist anywhere else. Like, everybody expects every single YouTuber to be 100% honest, 100% great at budgeting, 100% on top of their lives, and, you know, super organized, and all these things that literally don't exist in real life. And so many people forget that we are people with our own flaws and our own motivations. And hell yeah, there are people in here, in this community, that only want the money, that they don't care. There are people like that in literally every job in the world, who only care about the money, don't care about anything else, only want to be famous, only want whatever. They're in every single job. And if you can't differentiate that, like, there are some people that dupe the best of us, you know, and it happens. Like, and I know it's hard to not take it personally, because one of the things that we do as YouTubers is let you into our lives and talk to you like you're right in front of us and we're only talking to you. And that's part of the culture that makes this so wonderful, but at the same time can also make you feel so betrayed when it doesn't work out. And there are very few YouTubers that I follow still that I started following when I first started watching YouTube, because there are people that I feel like went viral and lost their integrity. And that's a decision I made. And that doesn't necessarily mean that they did, but I chose to remove myself from that channel because it didn't feel good anymore to watch. And I didn't have to tell them that. Like, I didn't flounce. I didn't leave a comment on one of their videos that was like, "You're a terrible person and I hate you now," because that's just unsubscribe. It's fine. Like, nobody needs you to tell them that you unsubscribed and why. Nobody needs that. And I think that people need to do more of that. Just leave quietly. It's totally okay for you to do that. If you find that you all of a sudden don't think a YouTuber is trustworthy anymore, stop following them. Stop following them and watching their videos and commenting that they're not trustworthy anymore. Nobody cares. Like, it's just so unnecessary. And like, take a step back and think about like why you're doing this. I know you're doing it because you feel like personally betrayed, because you feel like you developed a relationship with them, but these are people that you never spoke to in real life most of the time. Like, just take a step back. And I know it's really hard, and I know that we develop it that way for you to feel like you can trust us. And a lot of us, you know, I can speak for myself really here. Like, I want you guys to trust me because I'm telling you like my truth, and my truth may not necessarily be your truth, especially in the case of, you know, the Violet Boss palette, where you'll see there's like 100 comments on there and they're all relatively different. They all fall in that spectrum. And, you know, I don't like hold it against the people who love that palette. Like, I wish that I had gotten it from the same batch that they did, because I probably would like it too. But, you know, like, I don't have to take it that personally, and I think that you guys should not either. To kind of bring us back, the idea that it's any of anyone's business what is in somebody's contract is ridiculous. It's none of your business what she's paid to do and what she isn't paid to do. And if she tells you that wasn't part of my contract, I had nothing to do with it, like, you weren't in the room signing it with her. You are not Becca's lawyers. You're not her lawyer. You're not studying contract law, I'm sure. Even if she told you, you might not understand what that all entails. And it's none of your business. And, you know, looking at it logically, again, you know, like, she's never changed the formula for anything. What makes you think that this now all of a sudden was totally under her thumb and she had every right to make every decision. Of course she didn't. The mess up here is on Becca. And, you know, again, it's something that I can understand. And it's something that, like, Becca has such great customer service that, and even Sephora has great customer service. If you bought it from them and you don't like it, return it. Just return it. Get your money back. It's totally fine. Even, I guarantee you that if you, right now, after all this controversy, if you threw the original box away and you can't return it to Sephora and you emailed Becca and you're like, my palette sucks, but I threw the box away, I guarantee you they would take it back and they would not tell you, like, oh, you're shit out of luck. You know, like, you know, it's just not that hard, and you, like, don't have to make it such a big deal. And I know, I can't even say I know that it's tempting to do that, because I don't get people like that who, like, always want free stuff. And, you know, to, like, I know so many people who would buy something, use it, return it, and say they didn't like it just to get the money back. Like, I don't understand people like that, and I know that there's a lot of people like that out there. So I think it's those people who are, like, making this huge deal about this stuff, because everybody else would just freaking return the damn palette and be done with it. Like, I don't understand. And I think the biggest part of this controversy comes from people who just hate Jaclyn Hill. And that's fine. If you don't like her, don't like her. That's great. Whatever, you know, but, like, shut up. It's just shut up, because you just look like you're coming from a place of, I hate Jaclyn, I'm not gonna listen to anybody, you know, like, you just look stupid, and, like, you're on a witch hunt, which that's what you guys are doing. And it's just, like, it's upsetting to watch as a small YouTuber, because I'm like, if I ever gain popularity, are people gonna do, like, why do people feel the need to do stuff like that? Like, you want to hate me or any other YouTuber, that's great, and that's fine. You're completely entitled to your opinion, and I know that I am not for everybody, and I'm okay with that. And everybody else is too. Like, we are all people who know who we are and know that not everyone is for everyone else. I don't like everyone. I don't. Like, I don't, and that's fine. I don't have to. Nobody has to like everyone. But I think that unless someone has given you a specific reason not to respect them, you should respect them. And even if they have given you a reason to not respect them, then unfollow them and be done. Like, why do you want to keep bringing that negativity into your life? I don't understand that. It blows my mind. Like, is there not enough going on in real life where you don't need this extra drama? Like, let it go. I don't get it. But anyways, on to the actual palette, which I do hope they actually reformulate or whatever and release, because I do, like I said, I really like it. I used it today. I've been using it. I use it quite a bit. You know, I found that the colors are really nice, and like I said, they blend really well, and they're beautiful colors. And I find, you know, the reason that I've never ordered a Becca palette is because I do find them quite limiting. There's 5 shades and they're all generally sort of the same. So it's one of those kinds of palettes where I can only do so many looks with this, you know? So that's basically my con, is that the colors are so similar that, you know, there's only so much you can do with it. But in terms of how they perform and all that, I think it's a great palette. At the end of the day, people feel entitled to YouTubers' success. And while it's true that the number of subscribers you have gets you more attention and more opportunities, to think that now we personally owe you everything is super messed up. And I find that attitude everywhere on YouTube, and it's really problematic, and it's something that I think that people don't check themselves on, and if they did, they would be like, whoa, yeah, that's not okay. Like, it's really troubling as a small YouTuber to think that, should I ever gain more subscribers, which if I don't care, that's fine, that people are gonna feel entitled to my success as if I didn't work to get there and I didn't put in the work. You guys aren't editing my videos. You didn't edit Jaclyn's. You didn't come up with the ideas for her stuff. You gave her ideas, I'm sure, and inspiration, I'm sure, but you didn't do the work. So for you to feel entitled to have any say in what her success is, or what my success is, or what anybody else's success is just something that I think that people need to like look at in themselves and figure out, because you would be up in arms if anybody came to you for what you do in your life and said that you owed them for your success. So don't expect it from other people. I'm gonna stop rambling now, and I could make this into a much longer video because there are so many things that I see that, you know, on both sides of the spectrum, I think that there are things that we as creators need to be doing a better job on, and I think there's things that, you know, and I say we because I also still view YouTube videos as viewers, need to do better on as well. We're people, and at the end of the day, that, you know, that doesn't change just because we put ourselves on camera and, you know, whatever I don't know. It's really troubling to see the way that some people feel entitled to everything from other people, and I don't know, it's really sad sometimes. But I'm gonna stop talking. You know, I'd love to hear from you guys in the comments what you think about the whole situation, about any part of this, and if there's anything you want me to elaborate on or whatever. Any conversation we can have in the comments, I'm totally up for that. If you did like this video, you can give it a thumbs up. If you didn't, you can give it a thumbs down. I don't care, that's fine. If you still want to be subscribed after hearing me say all this stuff, I appreciate it. If you liked this video and you want to subscribe, that would be great as well. I hope you guys are having a great day wherever you're at, and I will see you in the next video, which will be makeup, I promise. Bye everyone.